first of all, I have lots of thoughts about CRA. I think a lot of people would know one of my core initiatives of coming to Washington was to look at the Community Reinvestment Act. And for those of you in the audience that aren't familiar with it, this was basic legislation in 1977 that said that banks need to serve the consumers, the entire consumers of the communities to which they operate across the United States, including ensuring that banks did not participate in redlining. And since 1977, this provision has been in place, and it has had minor modifications over the years, but it was enacted before we had interstate banking, before we had internet banking, and the way the banking has changed. But the real intent of this regulation, in my mind, is to ensure that financial institutions serve the communities to which they operate. I've started a process in November of last year to put out an advance notice of proposed rulemaking. We released that. The comment period ends on the 17th of November. We will take the comments from that. We asked over 30 questions for people to provide us feedback on banks servicing their respective communities. And we hope to have a holistic view from the FDIC and the Fed and ourselves to put forward a notice of proposed rulemaking to have CRA be able to serve the needs of communities in the current time, so to speak. And I'm excited about it because I think banks want to do more. There are communities across America that need assistance. You hear the word, CRA deserts, where banks are restricted from serving certain communities. And I think if we can bring partnerships together with communities and banks to serve their communities, then that's a very positive thing. And I do think Fintech can play a very important role in that process. A number of financial institutions today are domiciled in Salt Lake City. Most of them are credit card or industrial banks, and they serve with their CRA needs Salt Lake City. But if you talk to those banks, most of their customers are in Miami or New York or Chicago. They would like to be able to support those communities. And I think we can free those banks to go serve those communities through the CRA review process.